This action plan calls for changes to be made within the American educational system. It focuses specifically on educational inequality in Chicago and calls for changes to be made that will help to bridge the gaps that exist for students of color. Oftentimes, Black kids growing up in poverty, attending inner city schools, are not afforded the same opportunities as their white counterparts who attend better schools and live in better neighborhoods. It is imperative that we address the impact of racism on educational inequality in order for us to truly create real, effective change. The data used to create the action plan shows just how much racism negatively impacts various aspects of Black children's lives and thus speaks to the issue of race and inequality in education. The previous graph showed that about 20% of Black boys receive out of school suspensions, while the percentage for white boys is less than 6%. This graph shows a lower life expectancy for poor, uneducated people than rich, educated people. Unfortunately, Black people experience more poverty than almost any other race here in America. And so this in turn impacts their level of education and creates a lot of other issues in the long run. It is imperative that educational leadership in the White House recognizes the problem and works to create better funding and conditions for children of color in America. School district superintendents and CEOs over larger districts are responsible for making sure schools are provided with materials and funds needed to run smoothly, no matter where the schools are located. Poverty should not be a means for inequality in education, ever. Once funding is provided, teachers are responsible for using the tools provided to give students a quality education. Finally, parents have a responsibility to work with teachers and staff to make sure their students are given an adequate amount of support and quality education. And students are responsible for putting their best efforts forward in order to receive everything they need to be successful young people. It is so important that we remember that equality and equity are not the same thing. Equity is giving every student what it is that he or she needs in order for them to be successful. This is not a level playing field, and thus everyone can't be given the same portion. Some people have to be given a little bit more in order to really be successful and really get what it is that they need. This plan will need 2 years to be implemented. Improvements should be seen over time as students show growth on tests, homework, and overall grades. It is almost impossible for students to grow and achieve when schools lack the resources for them to be able to do so. So it's really important, that kids have what it is that they need to be successful. We can't have expectations for students of color to really be excelling and doing great when they are not provided with what they need. We want to make sure we are giving our students what it is that they need. So we definitely have a lot of changes to make in the educational system, specifically in Chicago, so that our students receive quality education. I anticipate positive outcomes centered around student growth, both socially and academically, when my action plan is implemented properly. Providing poor Black students with all tools needed to be successful will help to create real change and close achievement gaps. We want to give our kids what they need. And I don't know anyone who does not agree that all children deserve to have quality education, no matter their race, no matter where they live, no matter their situation and their circumstances. Socioeconomic statuses should not have a place in the classroom. All students can learn, and all students should receive quality education. It is imperative that Black children are provided and afforded the same opportunities as students of other races and nationalities. And I just know that these positive changes will help Black students to change their lives. It'll help them to change the entire trajectory of their futures. And we want African American Black students to have good opportunity. So it is my hope that you all will join me in implementing this action plan so that we can create some real change in the educational system where all students are afforded the same opportunities, no matter where they come from, no matter their race, no matter their socioeconomic status. None of that should matter. We are working together for the greater good, and our purpose is to make sure that children are successful.